Have you played the video game?
No? Have you played the video game?
No.
Have you played the board game?
Well, I should have. Otherwise, why is this video here?
This is the review for the board game Skyrim, the adventure game, the good and bad about it.
By the end of this video, we'll know if you want to adventure here.
We have 6 draconic questions that we will answer in this video, but before we do that, Giannis, what is this game all about?
Bum, 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 da, da, da.
That's a different game.
But I have played that video game. So you are playing one of the Blades. It's a secret organization that is running away from one place and arrived here, and they are still being hunted.
As always in these adventure games, trouble always finds you. There are multiple campaigns, and each campaign consists of scenarios, and to win one of those scenarios, you have to finish all of the missions. Choose things, you fight things, you use resources things, you throw dice things, and you win at the end. Maybe.
Or don't.
This is a cooperative game. Each of you will have different quests, but they kind of intervene with each other. Also, we will have different side missions. We will have to go and clean up some pots to get some extra cash.
That sounds super exciting. I don't know how many games I've recently played that where you have to clean pots. I don't think any. Are those like food pots or chamber pots?
Those are 2 different quests, I think.
Wow. So first thing that happens in a round, an event will happen. One thing that almost all of them do is they raise threat.
And you have to put this threat somewhere on your quests. This is the main way how you can lose the game and the quests you have, by putting these threat tokens on your quests, and when there are too many of them, then you lose the game. You can move around to like up to 4 spaces if you have 4 horses and more. Wherever you land, that's the actions you will do this turn. If you go to a cave, you will have to go in and fight.
Or if you go to a stronghold, you can purchase things there, or sell items, or buy a horse.
Or do quests.
Do quests, meet people, do a random event. Yeah, then you just draw a card and something might happen. Well, something will happen. And depending on the success failure, you get reward. But afterwards, you will have to make a decision. You will exchange this card for the next card in that quest line.
Just quickly about fighting, whenever you go into a dungeon, there will be set like monsters you need to defeat. For example, this Master Necromancer. And you can use different kind of weapons with different kind of skills to defeat this particular armor. And how it all just comes together is you check what items you have, how many dice you can roll. You roll those dice and see if you hit or not. And something similar happens when the bad guy goes. Dice chuck in combat here. We gotta talk a lot more about this game in this video, so we should jump to the first question, which is...
Who would you get this for?
3, 2, 1. Adventure seeking hoarders?
Adventure seeking hoarders. What are they hoarding?
Stuff.
The adventures?
No, they want to adventure, but they are hoarders.
Okay. I identify as a hoarder and I want to go on adventures.
Then it's for you.
The obvious one obviously would be the fans of the video game. I assume. I have not played it, I would know. But for me, I wrote down, want an intro into a fantasy RPG game? It looks big, and it kind of is, and there's a ton of stuff. I feel like it's such a simple game to get into, especially if somebody teaches it to you. They try to keep the rulebook super minimalistic, which might be a good or a bad part. We'll talk about that later. But just doing the intro tutorial mission and just getting into the game is simple. The game is quite simple. If you want to try a questing fantasy board game and don't know which one to try or give to someone, try this one, because it is quite easy to get into.
I think this whole game is about 2 things. Number 1, adventures and quests. That's the big part. The side quests. You can have a lot of side quests in just one campaign. You can go through almost all of those cards. It's a big part of it. And the other thing is hoarders, because you will get a lot of stuff. This game is about getting armor, getting weapons, exchanging it, trying to upgrade your equipment. This one takes it to the next level with the stuff that you can get and exchange and how you can create your character.
What are the best 3 things about this game? I'll start with the one that I haven't used a lot recently, but that's gonna be a setup. And I thought, that big game, and I just so many cards and so many tokens. And then I set it up, and somehow the box works, and it's quite simple. You don't even have to take all the stuff out of there. That insert is not the greatest, but it works. Feels like it's very simple to just start playing.
It's quicker than it looks. My third thing is the story cards. They really created side stories where you just want to go and do those, and the main quest can wait, it's fine. And all of those quests have choices. And also the like story writing is pretty funny a lot of times. Know that this choice is probably a lot better, but this one's so funny. I just want to see what happened there. I wouldn't say this is a story game per se, but the amount that they have and the way they create these side stories is pretty fun.
That's my first one. So what happens next? It's like when you play, everyone's like, yeah, we're ready to go there and just complete the main quest and be done with it. No. I have to take this horse there. The world is on the line. The future of the whole world. Yeah, I know. I just gotta take this horse there real quick. And then we can go. And you really want to follow through and want to see what happens. It just kind of pushes you that you want to be curious. You want to explore.
My number 2 is the grind. Again, there is that main story, right? To be honest, I don't care. This game is all about the grind and getting equipment cards, getting better. Very unique ways how this game makes you more invested into it is by leveling up. Whenever you defeat a monster or maybe finish a quest, you get experience points. Whenever you get enough experience points, you level up and you get a skill in that. You can choose a different skill. For example, two-handed skill. Make sure you can throw more dice whenever you attack with two-handed weapons. It's such a specific thing, and there's all these skills are very specific for specific situations, and you feel like you can branch out your character each time. It's not about finishing the game, it's about the grind of getting better or getting stuff. Every single person I played it with, for them, it always was about that.
Except me. For me, it was just the story.
You're a weirdo, so it doesn't count.
Well, let's move on then. 2 campaigns. The base game comes with just 2 campaigns or just 2 campaigns. It's such an accessible thing. These days when you're like 30+ hour campaigns, that goes into my, when I said you want to try first time like something that is like an RPG where you travel around. This, first of all, is quite easy to get into. Second of all, there's just 2 campaigns and each of them are not 30 hours.
My best thing is equipment.
Really?
Bunch of different cards with equipment that just blew my mind at first, because if you want to play as a ranger, there are tons of equipment for just specific that build. There's tons of spells that can reincarnate the opponent. You defeat a monster and you can rise him up and he fights on your side. There's so many different like spells and items, right? Armors as well. The amount of stuff, if you like grinding and getting stuff, for me it's the best thing here.
Gimme. So you walk into, I don't care, just tell me what I get.
Exactly, let's go. If you like the way we make videos, but maybe you don't like reviews, you can get 1 video each month extra that nobody else sees except you, our supporters. So be sure to check it out.
The best thing, you get to vote on what that video will be. Here are some things why this game might not be for you.
Small things. This time mean quite literally small things. I freaking hate these resources.
Which resources?
Exactly. Components here are quite bad.
Yes, I agree, those you need glasses to see, but other than that, they're
And then
fine.
those, and then these, and experience.
Just those.
And then these level ups.
Just those.
It's components for ants, really. And yes, they made it to fit here, but then make this one a bit bigger. It's just inconvenient. The components weren't up to like the level I expected for a big game like this.
Okay,
Can we have banana for scale? Like banana is like this.
You don't need to show them, they can't see it anyway, it's too small. Remember I said it has just 2 campaigns? Well, it just has 2 campaigns. What is 2 campaigns and 3 scenarios each? It's just not enough, I guess, for some.
The commercial, the promo for this is this endlessly replayable. That line is stuck in my head. Well, it is, and we can talk about it, I guess, later, but the side quest is like, it's repetitive.
Yeah, well, once you know what happens when you deliver that horse or clean that chamber pot, the next time that option comes up, you're like, oh, yeah.
Co-op? Question mark? This is a cooperative game, so you all as a team do the main quest. And that's about it. And even the main quest, you both do different things until the end, where you have to meet somewhere, read a text, and that's about it.
I think that was the only way to kind of keep the feeling of Skyrim and bring it here. Because in the video game, you're just a single person doing a single quest. So how do you make it multiplayer, right? You're playing your own thing, but we're not competing. We're still trying to save the world.
And it actually goes then together with my last thing, which is combat. One, it's not cooperative at all. You can fight together, and maybe if a dragon, spoilers, comes up.
What, a dragon in Skyrim? Come on.
Then you might want to go together, but if you have grinded and had a lot of equipment, you don't care if there's anybody else. The other thing is when somebody fights, so much downtime. I rolled 2, nothing. The monster rolls, nothing. You're gonna win this fight, but it's just gonna...
Yeah, and everyone else is like,
Yeah.
I put combat down there because it is quite fiddly-ish. Yeah. There's not really kind of life points. Well, there are kind of life points, but then there's magic points and these points, and then I have to have this skill and then roll this die. Well, depending on what skill you're using, this might be a success, or this might be a success, or this might be a success, or both of these could be a success, and then you can roll. Overly complicated.
Which I see why they did that, because that means they can build this cool equipment system, which I really like. But just the combat itself, when you use that equipment, doesn't pay off. It's fiddly more than anything else. It's not like the worst, but it's not that exciting as the rest of the game.
Let's find out how long's the honeymoon, huh?
3, 2, 1. I think we need a break.
Are you talking to me or to them?
No, Skyrim. No.
Oh.
We're good. Woo! For now.
I have 2 campaigns, and if you're like him and you like the grind, you're gonna grind through some 2 campaigns, maybe some more, then you're gonna explain what the break means. For me, I'm in this for the story, and then I'm done with the story, and the only way I'm going back to this is if there's another campaign or when I forget about it. Still, 2 campaigns, there's like 6 scenarios at least. There's a lot of game here.
Well, it's exactly what you said for me as well. I enjoyed these 2 campaigns and seeing those side stories, but now I just see those side stories again and again. And the more you actually grind, the more side stories you will see in one campaign. So that's also gives to that. But the grinding is the best part. You will enjoy the first playthrough, and then you will need a break.
So what is the best alternative?
3, 2, 1. Elder Horror.
I thought you'd pick that. I have Fallout. This one is better than the Fallout was. But if you get Fallout board game, get the co-op expansion, Atomic Bonds, I think. Yep. It feels samey. You also get new stuff. You grind. There are some story quests which you care or don't care. But yeah, also you go from place to place. The board is different there from time to time.
For me, it's Elder Horror, one of my favorite games of all time. And I bought this game with thinking like, hey, this could be an alternative to this. And it is. It actually is. I would play it in similar times. So this game has more story, the side stories and texts and choices. The Elder Horror is a lot more cooperative. Yeah. You have to really plan things together. You have the same grind and same thing where people go to different directions and yeah, I'll be there, but I just want this equipment. But that choice has more consequences. You can't take that much time and you have to kind of plan together.
When playing that, I hate hoarders. I despise when people in that game go, whatever, say word later, get stuff now. Stop it!
We should play together because I love hoarding there.
Oh no, I hate it.
Okay, we're playing Elder Horror.
No, I'm like, we need to do this quest now. Yeah. What is the final rating of this adventuring hoarding story game?
3, 2, 1.
Wow, what? I'm surprised. I thought you'd have higher. It's really good for me. I want to introduce people to this genre of games where you cooperatively kind of walk around, get stuff, and try to complete the whole quest that we need to together. But relatively simple rules. I mean, you just move and do an action. I wish the combat would be better. I mean, if the combat would be better, this could have been fantastic for me.
Yeah. It's good. It's a good game, but I'm not very excited because of the combat. One, because I think the grinding is amazing. I really enjoy it.
Can I see that?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
You okay?
Fixed it now. It's just good.
It's good. It's not just...
Hey!
All that grinding comes down to combat, right?
Yeah.
And all that grinding comes down to the main mission, right? Getting ready for it. And the main missions always for me were kind of like a letdown. It's a very linear story, and even though you go to different side stories and choose different things, all that at the end changes is if you meet card A or card B. So overall, it's a good game. I have a lot of good things to tell about it. It's fiddly there, it's great there, it's overall good. It's good. Especially if you like Skyrim.
I enjoy Star Wars games more than you probably do. And you enjoy Lord of the Rings games more than you should.
Hey, nice one. I'll give you this one.
If you have people who know Skyrim, easier to get it to table.
Every single person I played it with liked it more than I did. And mostly because of the grinding and grinding and side quests. That really helped.
Interesting, I also played with you, and I also like it more than you.
Like
It's
more
him, not the game.